Hello, and welcome to our video today, a general overview of the StableNet Rich client. Once you log into the StableNet Rich client, you'll notice two primary navigational areas. Along the left-hand side, you have the different theme tabs that you can click into. Right now, we're in the measurements theme, which is the default when you first log in. And you also have the menu options across the top. Let's look at the menu options first. Under File, you have some GUI settings that you can change, as well as a place to exit out of the client. Under Themes, you have basically the same clickable options as you have on the left-hand side to move to the various themes. Under Options, you have a lot of default options of the system. Things like the MIB management area, where you can add and upload and download new MIBs into the system. The tag area, where you can create new tags and tag categories, as well as new tag trees and tag filters. The mail server property area, where you can add a mail server to the system. The default property area, where you can both view and adjust a number of the default system properties. Things like discovery properties, auto measure properties, data storage configuration for things like data aggregation and time to live of data, GUI information, monitor information, alarm groups, maintenance, and various other options that you will get to use in the system. Under Device, we have areas for you to look at device info commands, which we'll talk about in the device automation area, as well as potentially add vulnerability and end-of-X management information if you are licensed for that service. You can also go into the config snippet management area. Under Service, you can work with your service management, again, if you're licensed for that feature. Under Templates, you can get to the area where you use and manipulate, upload, download all of the various different templates that the system uses. Things like report templates, where you can put your own logo or otherwise customize reports. The SNMP and WMI template management area, where you can both view and upload and download new SNMP and WMI templates for use in the measurements and monitors, as well as trap templates, config templates, and so forth. In the job area, you have where you can upload, again, files for various tasks in the system. Things like discovery file management for XML and CSV files to be used in discovery jobs, as well as config files for config management, backup files for backup jobs, and the like. You also have a help area where you can access the user and back office help screens. You can access the running server log, as well as the about area, which gives you information about what version you're running, license information, resource information on the GUI and the server, and so forth. Let's look at each of the left-hand side theme tabs. We'll go from the top down. In the main measurement area, which is what you see when you first log in, you have three major sections. The upper left section, which is your tree structure for the elements in the system. And you can see I can open up these elements and drill down into individual devices. Once in those devices, I can see individual measurements, monitors, and so forth. Those are color-coded depending on their status. On the right-hand side, you see the main dashboard area. Again, there's a default dashboard that you'll get under first installation of the system. However, you can create your own dashboards to display whatever information that you would like, and those dashboards change on the right-hand side, depending on what you've set to configure. On the bottom, you'll see an area where the current open alarms in the system are located, as well as action events, incoming traps and syslogs, and the StableNet log. When you do have an alarm that you might be interested in seeing further, you can click on it and open it up, and you get more information about the alarm data and impact. You can do things like acknowledge or create a comment, etc. Also notice that when I clicked on that, it automatically drilled my tree view down into the alarm that I had selected on the bottom. So this is a very active section of the system. From here, you can also access, if we're looking at, for example, interface information or any measurement information, you can access the analyzer to see the main graphing and plotting engine in the system, as well as the group analyzer, where you can get group statistics about a number of different measurements or monitors that may have been selected. So for example, if I select interface, total traffic, and plot, I get information about all of the interfaces that were selected underneath this group. If I had chosen a larger group or the root node group, I would get information about every interface underneath the entire system. The next theme is the agents theme. Very simple. It shows you any agents that are connected to the system, their IP address, information about status of their data commit to the database. From here, you can double click on an individual agent and look at things like its address or its group or tag selection. You can also click on the agent expert information to get more detailed information about licenses and resources, how many measurements and monitors that agent is currently has underneath it, and so forth. The inventory theme is where once devices have been onboarded, this is the main informational theme part of the product to get inventory information. So things like physical asset information, properties of the device that's selected, including operating systems, CDP or other neighbor information, routing information, physical module information, and so forth. There's a number of tabs to the right. As you select an individual device, you can navigate, see interfaces, see connectivity, how that device is connected to other devices, an individual module tab that you can select to get more information about the physical assets of that device, as well as the neighborhood tab, which shows an automatic topology diagram of the device that you've selected. That's highlighted in the middle here. You can hover over a device and get a pop-up information about that device, or hover over a link and get information about that link. You can also choose to go further into a second or third or fourth degree neighbor level, whatever you wish for the automatic diagramming. This area also allows you to see a device list. And from that device list, you can do things like search for a specific vendor or many other characteristics that we have from every device. So I could search for an individual IP address, and as I start typing, it automatically starts filtering down to just those devices that match that filter and so forth. And that works for all of the different options that you have to search for. You can also access inventory statistical information on the left, which opens up the group analyzer directly into the inventory informational view so that you can get reports, basically ad hoc reports of inventory information. We also have the service analyzer areas where you can have a graphical depiction of various services that have either been discovered from the elements themselves or added through the service information. In reporting, we have a list of all current reports that are in the system. You can also make new reports. You can modify these existing reports. You can also go into the archives of any reports that have already been created and run. Our reports can be output as either HTML, PDF, or Excel, or all of the above at once. And when a report has been made, you can simply double click on that report and it will open up, in this case, a browser directly into that area and show that report. Under network inspection, we have our main weather map area. We have some fun weather maps that we've created here to show possibilities. Essentially, this is another area that you can use to create a visual depiction of the elements in the system any way that you wish. It can be a simple map type diagram. Those diagrams can be changed into all kinds of different potential layout formats. You can, as we saw on the previous screen, you can overlay background pictures or other information to basically create whatever kind of visual depiction that you would like for the elements in the system, as well as build application maps and the like. And then lastly, we have the device automation area. This is the main NCCM portion of the product. This is where you would initially create your discovery jobs to onboard devices into the system. After that, you can do backup jobs to back up configurations of devices, as well as device info commands, the results of which will be shown in the device backup tree. So I can see individual device backups that are time-stamped from when they occurred, as well as potentially things like a show command or other device info command, which can retrieve additional information directly from the device for storage in the system. This is also the area that you could create and launch configuration jobs if you're using the system to make changes on devices. Any of our types of configuration jobs can be accessed through this menu: simple configuration, template-based, or snippet-based configuration jobs. We also have the policy checking job area if you're using StableNet to run policy checks against your devices. The results of any job that is run, whether it's a policy check, a discovery job, a configuration job, can be seen merely by highlighting that job and clicking on the job analyzer screen, and it will take you into the history of that job, when it was run, and what the results of that job were. So those are the main aspects and navigational components of the StableNet Rich client. We have additional videos coming on very particular aspects of the platform and what it can do, but hopefully this gives you a good overview of how to navigate around the client. Thank you.